Now, these are four places where the money hides. And guess what? This is quite interesting, by the way. It's not what you thought. It's just a very funny places where this money hides, and probably most of the people don't share this information. But let's go ahead and share this information. And this is good, Joseph, in case you're watching me for the first time. And this is exactly what I do, sharing this kind of information. And if you don't want to miss any of good my videos in future, you simply do this. Go ahead and hit that like button, like this video, make sure that you subscribe, and leave me a comment on the comment section. By the way, don't forget, guys, to ask me the questions. And as you can see, I'm making videos based on what you're asking me as or the question or the comment section. Go ahead and ask me a question, anything that you'd like me to address on as we move forward as far as it's about cash, machingli, mula, dao, do. All right, let's get into the business now. What are these four places where the money hides, and how can we get it? Because if you can identify the place, therefore it can identify that money, and you can go ahead and grab it. All right. Anyway, the enemy is one. The enemy is poverty. All right. Number one place where the money hides is dirty places. Dirty places. Dirty places here, I don't intend to talk about dirty things your politicians do. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm literally talking about dirty. Those things that are hated. Those things that are people like, ah, nah, I can't do that. I can do whatever. Do you know one thing? I don't know whether that happens in my country. These people called the plumbers. These are people who make a lot of money. They make a lot of money. Plumbers, this guy whom you call when your sink has busted, or when they say your toilet has blocked, or there's something related to anything that is flowing as far as the liquid is concerned in your house, you know, in terms of the piping and what have you. You find probably, you see, I'm saying this because I've worked in the construction industry for 4 years, so I know exactly what I'm telling you. See, those places where it is dirty, where these young people don't want to engage to, because people actually in universities and colleges, they are reading, they are learning to be on suit and having a tilting chair, so called the white collar job. But listen, see, these people whom you tend to think that they do not have money, this is where they have money. I'm going to give you a very short story, very quick. Number one, we had a very funny case. I actually read it somewhere on one of the dailies that concentrates on the business. There was a very young guy working in a bank, you know, as a teller in something. And then there was a lady, quite over, you know, middle-aged there, like 40-ish or something. And this lady was actually selling vegetables. And this lady, okay, the guy didn't know the lady was selling vegetables. So this lady would actually come to the bank like frequently, almost daily, I said almost daily, showing up to deposit, then we didn't have these elaborated systems of payment via your mobile and whatever. So she was coming to the bank every time, you know, to deposit. And this teller happened to notify this lady, and he was like, hey, hello, sorry, I mean, excuse me, madam, I would like to, you know, sort of have a discussion with you a little bit. What exactly do you do? And she said, I sell vegetables. You know, for those who come from Kenya know what are kales, aka sukuma wiki. She was selling those sukuma wiki, these exotic vegetables. And this guy was so mesmerized. I mean, this lady is coming up each and every day. And then he said, I'm just sell vegetables. The guy was so shocked. The amount of money this lady is saving, you know, at that frequency, and she's selling vegetables. And they became friends to a point whereby she could just call, hey, can I come now? Is everything okay? Yeah, we do have a lot of line. No, you can just come. So became kind of friends. And one day the guy asked the lady, wow, would you mind if you can just show me this business? I think it's a good business and we can venture into it. Then it was like, yeah, sure. I mean, we can go ahead and do the business. The guy decided to quit the job. I know it sounds crazy. The guy was being paid around 35,000 per month. The guy decided to quit, and they got into the same business with that lady selling vegetables. Guess what? They sort of had a partnership, the guy, the lady, and another lady, and then they bought themselves a sort of a pickup truck or something. Like, okay, fine. In short, like, this guy, the amount of money he was making in a month in a white-collar job compared to what that lady was actually bringing, the guy was being beaten 10 hands down. So the point is, money hides in those dirty places that you people, you actually ignore. Those funny things. Those things, sometimes, how can I even say? Those things that usually tend to think like, hey, they have no jobs. And that's why you find most people, when you meet them on the way, they ask you, what do you do for a living? They're asking you that so that they can know the amount of respect to accord you. If you tell them I'm a Mason, if you tell them I'm what, if you tell them, I know a lot of people in this city that they make a lot of money and you'll never find them on suits. Actually, wealthy people, you know, there is this quote that says, I used to think that the suited guys are wealthy until I met their bosses on shorts and sneakers and what have you. That's the reality of life. So these things, if you go to the downtown of any given city, that is where real money is being transacted. You go somewhere and you find somebody who is selling cereals. You find somebody who is selling spare parts. You find somebody in an overall of a mechanic. This guy is repairing like 10 or 5 cars, like in one repair goes for like that is where the cash is. That's where the money is. Those dirty places, that's where the money is. So I think it's high time for the young people to roll up their sleeves, put your qualification aside and hustle like a dropout, because that is exactly where the cash is. Number two, where the money is unexpected places. Unexpected places. Unexpected places. These are the places you would less think that they have money. For example, I saw something that, and it's happening in Nairobi, that is in Kenya. Somebody has a room somewhere where he has bought broken tellies, that is the TVs, broken tables, and he just sort of kind of make it look like a very fancy place, you know, typically like a house. And of course, it's funny. And of course, people are coming in there with mattock, with the hammer, you know, with the bulk or whatever the thing it is, and the guy is being paid. Have you ever been, I don't know that I'm gonna deliver this in an appropriate way. Have you ever been angry and then you feel like you can take a very big thing and hit that TV, and then you feel like if you hit it, that can actually release your stress. You feel like if I hit something, I'm gonna be okay. But of course, you have the the information with you that like if I hit this tail, of course it will cost me one. So like, okay, fine, let me just swallow it. So you keep on swallowing, swallowing, swallowing. So you have this pressure. So this guy has actually made a replica of your house, and then you can show up there with that thing, and you can hit anything that you see inside there, and of course you pay them. And I know it sounds funny. The guy goes to the people who repair these things and they buy those broken whatever. And then he just places them, the chairs and what have you. And then you just get in with your mouth and then you hit everything, shouting, shouting, whatever, whatever. And then you release yourself. And people are saying, hey, guess what? It actually releases our anxiety. I saw somebody, a very popular YouTuber. I don't know whether I can remember his name. I don't know, Killer Kugen or something. Very great YouTuber. He actually had a project where he was taking people to like a forest, and then they were telling you, just let be you, just be you, just shout, let it be, like release yourself and such kind. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like as if I'm lying, but you can just go check it out there. How many have actually read that story? And they are making money, a lot of it, a lot of money out of that. Those are unexpected places. You know, that thing, you see, any stress, listen, how can I say, whenever lies a human weakness, there is a business to be made. Whenever lies, if you realize that your society is actually, I don't know that you've ever read a story about the monkey business, yeah? But I know that's a funny one, anyway, but whenever lies a human weakness, there is a money to be made. And that's why right now, as we speak, most of the pastors that we have are manipulating their people, and that's why they are riding on very heavy cars. They are like rock stars. I don't know who have realized that. For me, and I'm not trying to criticize anybody, I'm not going to mention anybody, but for me, I don't see, there's nothing wrong with being wealthy if you're a believer. Anyway, actually, that's what God loves us. That's what God would love us to be, not beggars, not the tails, but the heads. So, but the kind of behavior that they portray out there, like rock stars, celebrities, you try to find the humility inside of them. You're not seeing any, even if you try to look at it microscopically. And I'm not saying having property is nothing, but you can be wealthy and just be, you know, just blend in, just be cool, you know. But anyway, I know Pastor One might bring issues on the comment section, but I have to say it, you know. So they have realized that people, they have a void somewhere. By the way, I don't know whether you have realized this. They have realized that most of the people, they are so much interested with miracles. Miracles, do you know miracles violates all the principles of creating wealth? Okay, let me repeat this. This one might be a very deep, yeah? And I want you to involve your open mind. Miracles violate the principles of creating wealth. Why? Because I told you at all the time that hope is never a strategy. You're supposed to be intentional when you want to win. You cannot believe to have a six-pack. You cannot believe to have a... So most of the people who are seeking miracles, most, I did not say all, I said most, you find that they want to violate the principles of saving, sacrifice, consistency, and then they just boom, get it. Just get it. You know, I don't want to. Can you imagine this? You are a poor financial manager. You do not know how to manage the finances. And then there you are saying, you are being told to receive. I would like to get this. I would like, but come on, start first by managing. Even God stops growth where there is no management. You need first to start with management. Then, of course, you go for the prayers and all those kind of things. So you have to know what comes when and why do you need each of them. Yo, I'm not preaching, I'm not preaching. I'm just telling you. So the unexpected places, that is where the money is. Where lies the human weakness? That is exactly where the money is to be made. You identify, what does the society need? Okay, you give them that. It's not about you, it's about them. And that's why I tell you, sometimes following your passion is the worst thing you can ever do. Why? Because passion will always lead you to comfort. It's doing the things that you love, you want. And it's not about you, it's about us. It's about us who are consuming that what you're giving us. And that's why I tell people, yes, you would like to start that business that you love most, but do they love it? Because they're the one who will be buying it, okay? So anyway, I hope I made sense on that, okay? We go to the third one. The third one is something called areas or where money hides. It's not so smart area. Not so smart areas. Not so smart areas. What does it mean? By the way, I used to be a victim of this until I realized a secret about it. Where great ideas that make money, they're not necessarily newly invented, being brought forth by the wisest people in town or the best ideas. Sometimes to win, you don't really need to have that best idea. Sometimes you just need to do it. Just do it. I don't know that making sense. I once tried to get into a business with a person of profession of a teacher. I hope I shared that video with you. I'm telling you, teachers and engineers, according to my own analysis, not all of them, but most of them, they're the worst people you can get to a business with. Because these are people who are obsessed by perfection. And the moment you carry the perfection into the world of business and entrepreneurship, chances of you winning are very slim. Because you want to have everything right. And that is not the case. There's some things that you have to overlook them. And that's why you find the C students, they tend to be successful in a business compared to the A students. You see, an A student is this kind of an individual who believes in getting it right, perfectionist. And in the process of analysis, you paralyze everything. But as a student, provided they get the very basic things like, okay, you want to start a fruit business. Oh, you want to start a wholesale business. You want to start a mini supermarket. Okay, do I have the money? Yes. Do I have the location? Yes. Boom, they are there. By the time my students analyzes, I don't know, level 1, writing a very amazing, nice looking business plan, the C student is on month 2, month 3, month 4. He has already identified this can't work, this can't work. I change this, I change the other, I change. Have you ever seen somebody starting a business? Let's say you're starting a shop, a normal general shop or a grocery store. That shop end up selling one item because he has identified only one item can sell in this location. Or you change it along the way. Like by the time you think of executing the business idea, the other one is actually 10 months running. So this analysis, writing a very nice business plan, like, by the way, I do write business plan, and that's why my business plan, you will never see these funny things. I don't know, heading 1, heading 2, I don't know, that's what I dedicate this business to my mother. Come on, business people don't have time for that. Just go straight forward. We are talking about butchery business. Next forever. Okay. Why this business? Because of this and this. How much will go for the counter? Okay. How much will go for the stock taking? What are the prospected? How can I advertise this business? How can I to the point? You start writing the table of contents. I don't know, Roman 1. Come on. We don't have time for that. Go straight forward to the point. So the not so smart areas, that's where lies the great businesses. Now you're seated there, you said you love to start that. Now you are analyzing, you're asking the person 1, person 2, person 3. By the time you're in person 10, you even forgot what person 1 told you. You are confusing yourself along the way. Sometimes you have to overlook some things and just get into it. Just get into that business. Come on, just get into it. And that's why I told you, let's say you want to start a business. You may not get everything correct. For instance, you can't, okay, I'm not saying you can't. It's possible to get. Are we together? But what I'm saying is this. If you get at least 75% of the factors that are needed for you to start a business, get into it. What do I mean by that? You get the location, fine. You get the security of the area, fine. The landlady or the landlord may not be so good person, but anyway, whatever. You can be able to accommodate them. Like, there's no way you can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 things. They're okay, good, perfect, nice. Now that's the time you actualize. No, come on. You don't do that way. Are we together? So you have to be an individual. I hope I'm making sense. Now, the last thing, the fourth thing that, or the four, a place where money hides is obvious, something called obvious places. Obvious. Obvious places. Obvious places. Obvious places, money is there. Obviously, me and you knows pharmaceutical industry has money. We know hardware has money, spare parts has money, beauty has money, farming has money. It's obvious. We know if you invest in a money market fund, you will make cash. If you invest on bills, bonds, if you invest on IFFIF, fixed income fund, and that's why when people text me and ask me, hey, Joseph, give me a business idea that I can start, you already have the ideas. The only thing you just need somebody to sort of, I don't know how I can say it. We already have the ideas. What people suffer from, not really the ideas. They suffer from sort of a surety, if I may use the term, although it's not the best term to use in the world of business, but they suffer from something called, you want somebody to give you the foundational knowledge, what you need to have for you to start that example business, for you to go ahead and do the same thing. So anyway, the point is, guys, it's always good to make sure that you show up every day, do something, and you can be able to achieve something. So those are the 4 places where the money hides. And if you actually identify the places, you can go ahead and get that thing. This is good, Joseph. And if you'd like to get my services, as always, that number is always on the description of this specific video. Grab it. Let's talk business. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.